As we near the launch of the Xbox One X, I've been looking for any excuse to finally dive into the Xbox One ecosystem, but I'm sad to say that I've yet to find a single one. Let me begin by saying that I'm not one of those fanboys who favors any one platform. I avidly believe that competition is key to innovation. It's a healthy thing for the industry to have gaming giants like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo duking it out. Competition is what pressures and pushes these companies to outdo each other, and the end result is better and more innovative products. Trust me, you won competition. It's the cornerstone of incredible achievements. So yeah, when it comes to video game consoles, I love the competition. I don't care much for taking sides. What I do care about is games. If a platform offers a wide variety of compelling quality titles, I will naturally gravitate towards that platform. It's plain and simple. And therein lies the problem with Xbox One. It currently lacks substantial exclusives that make it worth purchasing over the competition. While Xbox One does offer your major third-party titles, so does the PlayStation 4, except the PS4 actually is accompanied by compelling exclusives. So of course, why wouldn't gamers gravitate towards PlayStation 4 when it's got the best of both worlds? And then there's the Nintendo Switch, which, while lacking in major third-party support, stands out with some of the most unique and renowned games in the industry that you won't find anywhere else, with the added bonus of being able to take your games on the go with little to no compromise. So yeah, for me, it has less to do with favoring a platform because of their brand name, and more to do with games and gameplay experience. And exclusives is such a big part of that. This is the area where Xbox One is lacking, and as a result, Xbox One just doesn't stand out in a way that PS4 or Switch does. Now, just to give you an idea for how dire the state of Xbox One exclusives is, allow me to walk you down through memory lane with a full timeline of the console's exclusives. The first big exclusive that the console launched with was Dead Rising 3 on November 22nd, 2013, a title that came out on PC a year later. Alongside Dead Rising, the console launched with the shitty Kinect game Fighter Within, a forgettable golf game called Power Star Golf, Forza Motorsport 5, and Rise: Son of Rome. So basically, Xbox One launched with 3 noteworthy titles, Dead Rising, Forza, and Rise, but none were what you would consider must-haves or console sellers. From there, not a single new exclusive until 5 months later on April 8th, 2014, and even then it was just Kinect Sports Rivals, which who gives a fuck about? Then, after 5 months on September 2nd, 2014, another exclusive that nobody gave 2 shits about came out, Dance Central Spotlight. We did eventually get Forza Horizon 2 later that month on September 30th, 2014 for both Xbox 360 and Xbox One. And it got good reviews and all, but once again, not a console seller. The following month, October 2014, also saw the release of the Xbox One exclusive open-world shooter Sunset Overdrive, which was positively received, but not a must-have either. Xbox One finished 2014 off by releasing Halo the Master Chief Collection in preparation for the launch of Halo 5 next year. So basically, 1 year of the console's life cycle passed without a single brand new killer first-party or exclusive game. Now, to be fair, in the same time period, PlayStation 4 was also struggling with exclusives. By September 2014, the only exclusives Sony had released were a re-release of Flower, Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, Infamous Second Son, The Last of Us Remastered, Drive Club, and Little Big Planet 3. Overall, a year into their life cycle, neither platform had a new exclusive title that could be considered a must-have or a console seller. This brings us to 2015. Most of the year's exclusives were only comprised of Kinect games like Fruit Ninja Kinect 2, a compilation of classic games through a title called Rare Replay, and another Forza game, Motorsport 6. But a big turning point finally came when Halo 5 Guardians finally launched on October 27th, 2015. Unfortunately, while the game sold well and was generally received positively by critics, it wasn't acclaimed in a way that past entries in the series were. It did push units, but it didn't quite reach must-have status. It wasn't a game that was going to convert people, if you will. Not to mention that the game got some backlash from fans, particularly where the single-player campaign and story were concerned. All in all, most agreed that while Halo 5 wasn't a mechanically bad game by any means, it wasn't a major turning point for the series, and it didn't quite live up to expectations either. Within the same year, Sony released two major exclusives for PlayStation 4, The Order 1886 on February 20th and Bloodborne on March 24th. The Order was a massive disappointment, but Bloodborne finally gave the PlayStation 4 the first truly exclusive, must-own console seller title. It was easily one of the best games of the year. Alongside those two, Sony also released a remastered version of Last of Us Left Behind, a PS4 port of Journey, the adventure game Until Dawn, an expanded remake of Tearaway called Tearaway Unfolded, Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, and Fat Princess Adventures. At this point, it was pretty clear that PlayStation 4 was beginning to edge out Xbox One in not just quantity of exclusives, but also in variety. Thus, 2015 came to an end, which brings us to 2016, the year in which PS4 would assert its dominance over Xbox One on the console market. Throughout 2016, noteworthy exclusives for Xbox One were the average Quantum Break, the mediocre Recore, the acclaimed Forza Horizon 3, the well-received Gears of War 4, and the meh Dead Rising 4. Unfortunately, none of these titles were what you could call console sellers or must-haves. It also didn't help Xbox One's case that all four of these exclusives were also released on PC. You may recall that 2016 was the year when Microsoft, in an attempt to unify Xbox and Windows, announced the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative, which allowed any game labeled as Play Anywhere to be played on both Xbox and PC with just one purchase. Microsoft also promised that moving forward, all of their exclusive Xbox titles would be Play Anywhere, meaning that they would all come to PC as well. It's a pretty amazing service, but the problem is that it gives people less incentive to go out and purchase an Xbox One. While it's an awesome proposition from a consumer standpoint, it felt like Microsoft shot itself in the foot from a business standpoint. Now, let's look at how PS4 fared the same year. Noteworthy exclusive releases include a port of PS Vita's Gravity Rush, a port of PS3's Heavy Rain, the well-received Ratchet & Clank, the acclaimed and console seller Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, The Last Guardian, Street Fighter V, and the compelling but ultimately disappointing No Man's Sky. Of these 7 exclusives, only 2 of them were also released on PC, 2 of them were available on other Sony consoles, and the remaining 3 were PS4 only. So in 2016, once again, PlayStation 4 widened the gap in the quantity, quality, and variety of exclusives. Thus concluded 2016, which finally brings us to our current year, 2017, the saddest year yet for Xbox One. The only notable exclusives this year are the already released Halo Wars 2 and the upcoming Forza Motorsport 7 and Super Lucky's Tale. I would list Crackdown 3, but that game recently got delayed to 2018. It doesn't help that due to the double-edged Play Anywhere initiative, all 4 of these games are or will be available on PC. Now, let's take a look at PlayStation 4's list of notable exclusives for 2017. This year has already played host to Gravity Rush 2, Kingdom Hearts HD re-releases, Yakuza 0, Neo, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload, Persona 5, Wipeout Omega Collection, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, Pyre, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Lawbreakers, Undertale, and Uncharted Lost Legacy. We are also still waiting on 2 more exclusives, Knack 2 and Gran Turismo Sport. Of these 18 exclusive titles, only 6 are also available on PC, only 3 are available on other Sony consoles, and the remaining 9 are only available on PS4. There is no other way to say this, PlayStation utterly decimated Xbox in 2017, both in exclusives and sales. Oh, and it gets worse. 2017 was also the year in which Nintendo finally released their new console, the Switch. only 5 months into the console's launch, and they've already released notable exclusives like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Snipperclips, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers, ARMS, Splatoon 2, and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, with upcoming exclusives for the remainder of the year including Pokken Tournament DX, Fire Emblem Warriors, Super Mario Odyssey, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Of these 11 exclusive titles, all of them are Nintendo exclusive. Only 3 of them are also available on Wii U, and the remaining 8 are only available on Switch. Some people like to claim that Switch has no games, but this might be one of the best launch years in history. If you think about it, the Switch launched right out of the gate with a must-have console seller title like Zelda Breath of the Wild, one of the highest-rated games of all time. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe easily pushed millions, and Splatoon 2, a phenomenon in Japan by the way, only sweetened the pot. Mario Odyssey isn't even out yet, and after having dominated the E3 2017 Game Critics Awards, it seems to be on its way to becoming yet another must-have and console seller for Switch. All things considered, we are talking about 4 varied must-have console seller exclusives in less than a year. Granted, where Switch is faltering compared to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is AAA third-party games. It's not getting your Destinies, your Battlefields, your Star Wars Battlefronts, your Call of Duties, your Assassin's Creeds, so on and so forth, mainly due to the disparity in hardware power. At the same time though, now that the Switch is selling so well, third parties are beginning to pay attention and are looking for ways to get a piece of the pie. But the most important thing I think is that Switch will be host to some of the most renowned, varied, and unique games on the market. And combined with the fact that Switch offers the unique ability to play your home console games on the go with little to no compromises, there's plenty that stands out about Nintendo's new console. So what does this leave us with? Well, it's pretty simple. If you want a balanced combination of cutting-edge third-party and first-party titles, then PlayStation 4 is the way to go. If you want the ability to play some of the most unique and renowned gaming experiences in the industry on the go, then Nintendo Switch is the way to go. If you just want third-party games and a handful of so-so exclusives that mostly consist of Forza and a couple of shooters, then there's Xbox One. And look, I'm not trying to sound insulting to Xbox One or the Xbox community. I'm just trying to convey the reality of the current situation. I want Xbox to succeed. I want competition. I want these companies to keep pushing each other. But in this generation, there is no denying that Xbox is falling behind hard. Microsoft is hoping that releasing a more powerful version of their console, the Xbox One X, will help them mitigate the situation, but I can almost guarantee that won't be the case. People want games, and with their lackluster selection of exclusive titles, both current and upcoming, I would be hard-pressed to get an Xbox One X when it launches on November 7th, 2017, with a price tag of $500. The release of yet another Forza game is just not gonna cut it. Just to give you an idea, the upcoming Motorsport 7 will be the 5th Forza entry this generation. As I said before, there is only so much Forza can do to drive sales. And it doesn't help that, again, upcoming Xbox One exclusives can also be played on PC as well. The bottom line is this: unlike the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, there's not a single thing about Xbox One that stands out right now. Sure, the Xbox One X will be the most powerful home console ever made, but that means shit without the software to take advantage of that power. But you know what? There are still years remaining before the lifespan of this console generation comes to an end. So let's take a quick sneak peek into the future. Maybe there is hope ahead. So for Xbox One, notable upcoming exclusives beyond 2017 include Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and that's it. These are the only Xbox One exclusives we know of so far that are coming beyond 2017, and these games will all be out on PC as well. Now, I'm sure they're working on other projects that they haven't announced yet, but this list as it stands doesn't really garner much confidence. Now, let's check out what PlayStation has to offer. Notable upcoming exclusives include God of War, Shenmue 3, Spider-Man, Yakuza 6, Days Gone, Death Stranding, Detroit Become Human, The Last of Us Part 2, and Shadow of Colossus Remake. Of these 9 titles, only Shenmue 3 and maybe Death Stranding at some point are also coming to PC. The rest will only be available on PS4. Even Nintendo Switch is aiming to impress in the years ahead, with notable upcoming exclusives beyond 2017, including a new Fire Emblem game, a new Kirby game, a new No More Heroes game, a new Yoshi game, Metroid Prime 4, and the first ever HD Pokemon game. All 6 of these titles will only be available on Switch, and Pokemon in particular is probably going to drive an insane number of Switch sales. So yeah, I don't think there's much else I can really add to this argument. To put it bluntly, Xbox is not looking good right now, and the launch of the Xbox One X will do little to mitigate that. I own a PlayStation 4 and Switch because I know that when it comes to quality, quantity, and variety of games, the future is secure. I also know that these consoles will offer unique experiences that I won't find anywhere else. They both stand out in their own way. I'm trying to find any semblance of that in Xbox One so I can justify a purchase for Xbox One X, but I just haven't been able to, hard as I may try. Being the most powerful home console ever made just isn't good enough. If Microsoft doesn't get its ducks in a row and start releasing a steady stream of compelling exclusives, Xbox One X will be dead on arrival and only appeal to a niche group of people. I don't want to see that happen, so here's hoping that Microsoft has some secret weapon behind the scenes that they're waiting to unleash. Here's hoping, for the sake of competition and innovation, that the best is yet to come from them. With that, I would like to end this analysis and discussion video. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know in the comments below what you make of Xbox One's current situation. Also, if you enjoy my content, I hope you'll consider supporting me on Patreon to help our community remain afloat without having to rely on third-party sponsorship and corporate interference. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!